Yeah, so good morning, everyone. Both from India. So many are from India. Good evening. So I see we have enough people, and there are people reporting that they are in PST and not able to join in different regions. But yeah, I think the session will be recorded. So we'll be sharing the people who are not joined. This is our first class. So we are hoping now everybody listens carefully and try to put your questions in the chat room. So yeah, with that, Venkatesh, I'm hand overing to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kunal. Thanks for giving that. Hey, good morning and good evening, folks. I already have we have discussed around in the workshop, right? So today we are going to start the first session of our AI journey. And thanks for joining all for the enrolling this course. And I hope this journey will make you to the lands your career path. Okay, and we definitely will give you the confidence of become a a developer as a fresher, become an experienced fresher, which I can say that. Okay, so let's start the AA journey. I'm sharing my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen, right? Can anyone confirm?
Yeah, Venkatesh. So we are able to see your screen.
Perfect. Yeah. So, just quick introductions about AI, because we already have seen in the workshop as well. But just I will go through the 10 to 15 minutes of AI journey throughout, what are the technology stacks which we are going to learn in this AI journey. Along with that, what are the programming languages we require? And we see today Python setup, and along with that, Python fundamentals concepts also, which we are going to learn today. Okay, so as as already we have seen that AI is nothing but as I told you that in initial day of workshops as well, like AI is in a kind of human mirror, right? As we are the human, how we behave is similarly AI based applications which mimic or a similar way to the human as well. As we speak, as we see, as we think, as we take the actions. So whenever we do all these performs, that we call as an AI applications. Okay, so that is known as the AI. So anything, any application which you develop or which you create, that should be independent and decision maker, which is known by the AI applications. Okay, so coming to the AI applications, like an so just to see the some comparison between the AI versus human intelligence, just to see understand. Okay, considering you have millions of data, it's very hard to recognize and very hard to store in our brain system, right? If we have millions of numbers which we wanted to see, about 1 lakh 1,000 person, what if the particular person which is done, or what is this number behind that, which it's very difficult to handle, and which will difficult to recognize them for particular unique number, what is going to be tell that, right? But compared to the AI system, they are more capable to the humans, even though millions of record which is able to store and which is able to tell behind this particular unique record of this 1,50,000 number. Okay, this is belongs to the particular location, particular geographical, and this record is providing kind of capabilities of information. That is the difference of the AI and human, but storing of the information, which I can tell that. Okay, and along with that, consider, okay, there is a pattern recognition system also which you can consider. Okay, so considering the pattern recognition systems, this is the one symbols which you can say that there are small, there are the bigger size, and there are much more bigger size. Okay, and as we are the humans, we can recognize some certain patterns, right? Okay, with like in a group of like in 1,000 or 10,000, or else like in a, if is a genius, okay, we can recognize up to like in 10,000 to 50,000 patterns. But what if case there are millions of patterns, right? Millions of patterns which we wanted to recognize. okay, which is a combination of like this, okay, which is a combination of like this is a one of the pattern which I can tell that, okay. It's a very hard to remember as in humans as well, right? But AIs are more capable on recognizing the pattern systems as well, okay. But not to worry that these patterns and AI applications which will be created by the human itself. Okay, there is no point of that. Like a human is a kind of particularly he is a secondary person which we can consider. But human is ultimately the genuine person who create this application, who develop these applications, right? So that is what we need to consider as a human prospective side as well. But creating and making of some of the functionality or making our tasks to be more easier and more time manner level, which is AI is a more capable of function, capable of system, which I can tell that, okay. So there are some kind of technological prospects which we need to consider, and what are the AI strengths which we can be considered, and along with that what can be the limitations of the AI as well, which we need to understand as everything, okay. So these are the some few of the points which I have highlighted: AI versus human intelligence as well, identifying and recognizing the huge amount of data, along with the pattern recognition system, and the memory and consistency performance as well. Why I'm saying you the memory and consistent performance, we see in the Facebook, everyone we use the social media platforms, right? In the Facebook and Instagram they use in day-to-day life as well. See, consider you are using the 10 from last 10 years you are using your Facebook, okay, and suddenly like in the last 2 days ago, which you see that there is an eight last 10 years ago you have spended your time with the friends with this with the particular location in the Karnataka, or like in the Goa, you have some certain memories which will recap and which will show you these are the memories which in the these are the particular time which you have spent, right? So AI are the much more capable on storing this memory and recognition systems, right? When compared to the human, if there is a special occasion on your day, like you are at a birthday, your children's birthday, or your birthday, or your parents birthday, or some occasional, then you remember, right? Because if just consider you are like 3 months ago, hey, and 3 months ago what actually you have done. If we ask Kondalrav also, like it is very difficulty to tell them on the particular like in the month of like in October, on this October 10th I have what I did, means it's very hard to tell them the particular whole day what have been done, right? But just consider if there is a special occasion on this day, everyone can tell that, and the beginning of the day to the end of the day, okay, the moment he woke up and the moment he went for the bed as well, okay. That is the beauty for the storing memory of the AI and the human as well, okay. So how this AI is giving the more patterns and giving of the recommendation to you, this is the place where you stayed, this all the applications which has been created with the help of the AI technology only. So because we see in the Facebook and everything, right? But we don't know how these recognition systems, how these recommendations, how these memories are providing to their users, making their user to be the more feel and comfortable. Okay, on this day we have performed such kind of activity, and we have spent it with the quality of the time on this particular time period and everything, okay. That is the beauty of the AI coming where when coming to the memory of storing the information. And one more, there is a limitation, as I told you. Everything there is a limitation for the AI also. AI is not for all the technologies or all the use cases as well. There is some limitations for the various use cases as well. Okay, it is not completely as implemented for all the industry prospective side as well. If we're considering for the healthcare also, there are 60 to 70% which has been towards their planning to make them applications to the AI based, but still 30% of them, the human intervention which is required to take up the decision and to perform any such kind of operations or taking of any decisions as well. So that is a one kind of limitation also which we need to consider in the US side as well. Okay. So coming to the sometimes the AI might not be clear understanding of the information. Also, when I speak something which the AI will say something, okay, there is some kind of contextual information and self awareness, something which will be misses from the AI as well. But when coming to the human, he is in a kind of thinking, and he is the creativity of these AI robots, and he is the person who make them all this, the kind of his mirror images to the person to make them the tasks and everything, right? And the persons who are of the emotionally intelligence, okay, they have emotional feelings and everything. Yes, AI is also having emotional capability, but not to the human which can have the emotions. Okay, so that is the difference between the AI and the some human when comparing to the storing and identifying the patterns and memory recognition system, all this capability which is comes. Okay, this is the difference between AI versus human. And and we'll see that why I always compare AI is in a kind of with the human person, because the AI is the best example is the human itself. Okay, as I told you in the beginning also, the each and every organ of the human, okay, which is helpful for our activities, right, as a human to life. The similarly to make them the one AI robot, these all the functionalities which is required to make them the one AI robot as well. You see these eyes, like in the human eyes, in the AI technology we call as a computer vision. Okay, in many of the industries, okay, many of the industry they require the AI engineer who have the capability of computer vision domain knowledge, computer vision technology. They perform the image processing, they perform the video processing. Even then the Zoom, you can see that, right? When the sir has started that, there is a transcription which is started. What I speaks, which you can see in the recording. Once this recording is completed, the information which I spoken, which everything will be available, that is called the translation information as well. Okay, so all these informations which can be done with the AI. So computer vision is nothing but your eyes. Okay, how we see, right? When we see some kind of image, or when we see some kind of place which our that information will be sent to our brain, and the brain can identify that, oh, this place is belongs to the beach, we are standing at the ocean. Okay, when we visit for the some museum, by seeing the appearance, by seeing the kind of items, and by kind of seeing the scenarios and everything, we come to know that our brain will tell that, right? Okay, we are standing at this XYZ place. Okay, that is where the connection between the eyes and the neural network. Okay, so eyes is all about the image processing, all the face recognition system, all the everything whichever we do the image processing, the robots see, the robots walks and everything, we tell that, right? So the first, they in the robots they have the cameras. With these cameras they take the decision by processing those images, by processing those video frames and everything. Okay, so that technology we call as a computer vision. Okay, and coming to the brain, okay, the brain is the main functionality for the human to live, right, for taking of any decision. Similarly, AI is having the neural network, right? The neural network is the main concept which is comes from the brain system, the human brain system only. Okay, how we have the neurons, we have millions of billions of neurons in our brain, right? Similarly, the neural network, that is the concept of deep learning, which we can tell that. Okay, this deep learning neural network which gives the see, how we thinks the similar brain like in a human, the same thing which works as like a neural network. Okay, so similarly neural network patterns connecting from one node to the another node, and processing that particular input to the output information, and finally concluding the final node. Okay, what is this belongs to this information by processing completely. That is called the brain, we call as a neural network, artificial neural network, convolution neural network, and recurrent neural network. Okay, all these algorithms and all these concepts which comes under the deep learning. So deep learning is specially designed by the neural network concepts only. Okay, next, we see, right, many of the YouTubers also, they are using the speech recognition. As you see, just one example which I tell that, if there is no AI, okay, the many people who are traveling to the many countries, because Many of them, they don't know their local language, right? If I'm visiting for the China, if I'm visiting for the Japan, if I'm visiting for the Kazakhstan, I need to know their local language. But as I am a person, as I'm a tourist person, which I don't require for to learn each and every language, right, about visiting for each and every country, right? So speech recognition system is the one of the application where it will, we speak what we speaks, it will hear, and it will hear and it will translate the information, right, to the human understanding language, about ease understanding language, from Chinese to English, Japan to English, English to Chinese, English to Japan, English to Hindi, English to Telugu, any kind of language. Okay. So this is called the speech recognition system. It's like an ears, we can tell that. Okay. In our mobiles also we have a Siri, right? First in Siri, what we do, we click the audio symbol, right? We click that mic and we'll keep on press that mic. Okay. Then we start speaking on the information, right? So this is about the ear, that mic will hear your information. Okay. So it is all about the, like, the speech recognition system you can consider as a kind of ears. Okay. The human ears. And the touch and sensors, which you can tell that, like, we do all the hands and legs, and we do everything, we have some kind of sensitivity, right? Whenever we touch some objects, some particles, we can tell them, we can feel that, okay, what kind of this object belongs to, even if we close our eyes as well. Okay. So that is kind of sensors, we implement with the sensors, this AI based robots and everything. Okay. Now coming to the mouth. Okay. So we started with the eyes, then we started with the brain, then we started with the ears, then we started with our hands and the kind of legs and everything which comes in the touch patterns. Then one more, the important organ in the human for mouth, that is we call it a speech synthesis. Okay. Speech synthesis is one of the tool where all the chatbot, every banking platform, every industry, they are using chatbot system, right, to converting the speech system, converting text into the neural network sound speeching, and mimic the human vocal capability. We see here, right, some of the calls we will get it from the fake calls, right? Someone of our known persons only will giving a call, but those are the kind of I can tell that, like, we feel that we'll get some call saying that, hey, I'm from the XYZ person, your friend has met with the accident. Okay, they call with your human voice, which we also cannot, we cannot also not identify that that particular voice belongs to the robot or the human itself, right? This is the speech synthesis system. Okay. The body of the voice module. Okay. Simply type the text information, the text will convert it to the voice, belongs to the similar human, the kind of example which you can consider my voice itself, by just recording of 1 or 2 minutes of my voice system. Okay, you can clone my voice and you can just type the text and you can give a call, whatever you provide the input as a text, it speaks as an my voice as well. Okay. That is the speech synthesis system, as we can call as a mouth and everything. So for that, these technology to implement speech recognition system, for speech synthesis, to implement this technology, we require the natural language processing. Okay. As I told you, the eyes, the computer vision for the images and the video video records, footage and everything to process. But for ears, mouth, okay, and for you speak and everything which is required, NLP, natural language processing, and natural language understanding. Okay. Or natural language generation, NLG also we call, NLU also we call. Okay. Natural language generation and natural language understanding. First, just consider, I'm speaking, you people are all are like in hearing my voice, that is called natural language understanding. Okay. Then after that, I speaks, right, that is called natural language generation. Okay. So this is the difference between the AI. In AI we only have two domains, that is computer vision and NLP. So these particular domains only, which has been divided to the each and every organ of the human only. Okay. And next is the NLP, as I told you, the natural language processing. Okay. Natural language is processing is nothing but the kind of the human language. We see that there is an whenever we visit for some country, now we have the applications and everything, but earlier we have kind of language translator peoples, right, who translate our the language to their local language. So that is called as a natural language transaction tools, which we can tell that. Next, text analysis. What we think, and what we think, and the information we will write, will try to write the text generation, right? So that is called the text analysis. Sorry. So whatever the information we generate and we write, everything which comes under to the text analysis or text generation part, that is we call as a text to writing and everything, right? So all these applications which comes under the AI, okay, that's why I always prefer the human is the best example for the AI based application. Okay, so not to confuse much. So for eyes and everything, computer vision. For brain, you just consider as a neural network. For ears, you consider as a speech recognition systems and everything. Okay, so next we'll jump into the another one. Right. Now we have seen that, right? As an eyes, we consider that the some of like a computer vision is a technology, and ears and our mouth, right? And the information, the what we hear and everything which we think that this is a NLP related information. Now, to implement these technologies, now these technologies belongs to AI only, but to implement this sub technology we required some of the fundamentals, right? What are these fundamentals, right? So to understand the fundamentals of the AI fundamentals, we need to know the machine learning techniques. Okay, machine learning and deep learning and generative AI. These are the three major fundamentals which required for the every AI developer or every AI engineer. Okay, who are going to work or who are going to start their journey in the AI field. Right. So the one of the machine learning fundamental is to understand machine learning is something. Okay, machine learning is nothing but like you have a minimal data with thousands of volume data. Also, you can create your AI application. Consider we are into the 2000 to 2010. In between, you just consider we are in the year of 2000 to 2010. In between that, in the period of 2000 to 2010, we will every day we will watch some of the news channels, right, for to see the weather report information. They say that for next tomorrow it is going to be rainy as for their prediction, but there is no rain, right? Because sometimes it may possible, sometimes it may not possible as well. Because the lack of the information, the lack of the data as well. Okay, so that those days they are trying to use with the machine learning information, okay, at least to see for 50 to 60% of their challenges to be resolved, to solve themselves, right? So machine learning is also similar kind of the thing with the minimal data where you can predict your AI applications. For not to go with all the applications into the deep learning and the generative AI based fundamentals, for starting any AI application, you can go with the machine learning initially itself. Okay, and to start with any AI engineer, their career also, machine learning is the right fundamental first initially to start their career. Okay, inside the machine learning, they will be having supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. We don't require reinforcement learning much. Majority of the industry, they work on the supervised and unsupervised learning use cases only. Okay, they use linear regression, they use logistic regression, they use navibags, they use bagging and boosting learning algorithms. Okay, in the supervised approach. When coming to the unsupervised, they use the k-means learning. Okay, they use the LDA based approach. They use the non-negative matrix factorization algorithms. So they use different algorithms for to implementing the, when they don't have any kind of information, but from the provided information they want to see what can be done the achievements from the provided data. So that can be do with the unsupervised learning. Okay, because just example, Consider there are a group of peoples. Each person is having a different concept information. Okay, so when we combine all together, we need to understand, right? So what this particular person is trying to speak to, trying to tell to us. Okay, that we can understand with the unsupervised. Okay, all these, thing, supervised and unsupervised, each and every algorithm which we are going to learn on the coming days. Okay, on the coming days, with each and every algorithm we have the uh, kind of hands-on experience, hands-on sessions, and each and every project also for every algorithm we will be having. So nothing to worry for machine learning and everything. Next, another one is the deep learning knowledge. As I told you, the brain functionality, which I told you, right? To implementing the brain functionality of any algorithms, we require the deep learning knowledge. Okay, that's why AI is become more and more, the kind of more and more of superior to the any kind of programmers or any kind of applications, because after 2010 we able to receive more number of more volume of the data from the various industries. Okay, now we have the millions, billions of data. For every seconds, we able to generate millions of data for every industry. That's why now the deep learning concepts are which has more become and become popular. Sorry, little, my health was little not well. That's why. Okay, so now the neural network, to implement the neural network, we required convolution neural network, RNN, recurrent neural network. Extend to the RNN, there is a long short-term memory and general advisor network and transformers, bidirectional encoder represent transformers, artificial neural network. All these concept, all these algorithms which we are going to implement with the deep learning fundamentals. Okay, each and every algorithms we are going to have a hands-on experience with the each and algorithm will be going to implement the a project level as well. Okay, we'll take a one use case and we'll try to implement on the particular algorithms. Okay, so now coming to the NLP principles, as I told you, so once we learn all these ML and deep learning techniques on the each and every algorithm, then we are going to deep into the domain prospective level. That is one of the domain is the NLP principles. So in the NLP principle, what we do, we collect the text information. Then once we collect the text information, we are going to process this text processing. So with the help of various techniques like tokenization, stemming, lemmatization, and removing the the various special characters and special quote URLs, emojis, and all the kind of text mining techniques which we are going to apply in the text pre-processing. Then after that, we are going to utilize the language models with the help of machine learning or deep learning technologies. Okay, by using the ANN, RNN, CNN. Okay, then or else advanced transformer based algorithms in the deep learning, like with the help of Hugging Face models and everything which we are going to utilize. Okay, then after, by combining all these two, first and second step, we are going to create a some application. Consider application like you are working for some e-commerce industry, as you are the AI developer or you are the data scientist. So you wanted to predict the product reviews for the particular items. Okay, so what you do, you need to do the sentiment analysis. So for doing the sentiment analysis, you will be having the product reviews, right? Either it may be the text information, the people who are given the commented up for that particular product, like we have purchased this product on the XYZ date and we are so happy for this product by utilizing this kind of this product, and we are so happy. And some people will tell that we are okay with this product but the price is little higher, so we can get it some better product as well. It's like these kind of the text information which will comes, right? So we'll try to understand this information and we'll apply the various language modules according to our use case, and we'll develop some applications. Like it might be the sentiment analysis, either it may be the language translation, that is called as a machine translation. Okay, by using the Hugging Face models, where you will be having, you know, you can translate from one language to the another language. You can consider 20 to 40 languages which you can able to translate as well. And you can do the some text summarization, text generation as well. Okay, all these applications which we are going to develop in our AI journey in the upcoming days. Okay, by learning of the each and every algorithms, we are going to introduce of each and every applications in this perspective. Okay, and the next one more domain, as I told you, the computer vision also. To implementing the computer vision, as I told you, the CNN, convolution neural network algorithm, is a very important for implementing the computer vision. Okay, for related to the computer vision applications. Okay, so what we do here, we process the images. Okay, we collect the images and we process those images, and we'll try to identify this particular image belongs to the, you know, suppose you are doing the face recognition system, this face recognition application. What we do, someone will come and take a snapshot of the camera, right? So what this once it is captured the camera, it should process and it should analyze this particular person is authorized or unauthorized. So these kind of applications which we are going to build, sorry, and along with that, there is some kind of other technologies also in the computer vision side, we call as an optical character recognition system, OCR, or handwritten character recognition system, or ICR, intelligent character recognition system. We see that, like, when you consider you are working for the banking industry, as you are the AI developer, you have to build some AI application where they receive the checks. Okay, that checks has to be processed to the right person. So that is comes under the computer vision domain only. Okay, so as you are the AI developer, you are the responsibility work for, if you, it is a NLP or if it is a computer vision. For given any domain, you are able to capable to work on the on those applications. So we have created this AI course, AI journey, by considering in the domain perspective of the two domain perspective, and we have created the various use cases and applications to work for your into the industry. Because once you finish off the AI course here, when you start attending the interviews, as we have promised, you are the fresher for the AI, but you will be having a 3 years of knowledge which we wanted to bring you. So having a three knowledge, when they ask you, you know the OCR concept. Okay, you know the NLP which we are working for this banking industry. Or you know that this but concept algorithms, you know the sentiment analysis, or you know this kind of, you know, named entity recognition system, or you know the spacey modules. So all these tools and techniques which we are going to teach you and taught you for entire this journey. Okay, that is what I wanted to bring you this, the kind of, you know, the overview of this AI journey, how it is going to be there and everything what you're going to learn. And just forget about the reinforcement learning, which is not required. I don't want you people to be more focused and to be kind of, you know, distract from the things actually, because this is we are less companies which are going to work on the reinforcement side. So we don't want to be spend much time, we'll spend little time and we can teach you on this. Okay, as everyone knows, the AI industry, there are more investing in the global market and everything. Okay, so nothing to worry. You are in the safe industry for next year, next to 10 years. You don't worry about your job once you are become the AI developer. Okay, that we can give the promise to you, because of as I'm into the industry from the last 15 years, I'm seeing this AI journey and everything. Many of the people who are moving from their career path to the AI industry career path. Okay, so these are the job positions which you are going to be there once you finish off your journey of this course as a AI developer, AI engineer, or machine learning engineer, or data scientist, or prompt engineer. All these roles you are eligible. Okay, once this course is completed. So don't worry about this job titles, just go with the job description, which I can tell you that. So now we all hear all these AI fundamentals required machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, and by learning of some of the algorithms. But to implement all the fundamentals, we required one programming language, right? That is called the Python programming language. Sorry.
Venkatesh, I think just take 5 minutes break, take a water and come. Maybe I can cover. Okay, don't worry.
Yeah.
And you're not feeling well. Just take a cold water and come back.
Yeah. Thanks. Just
No
one
problem, no
second.
problem. Hey, so to everyone, so the intention is to teach each and every topic of artificial intelligence. So people coming with multiple terms, right? Generative AI, artificial intelligence, data science. So not to confuse about the terms and all. So there are hundreds of segments under data science. So our job is to teach more on the generative AI. So irrespective of any technology, like whether you are in .NET or Java or testing, data analytics side or project manager or technology manager. So our job is to mentor more on the AI concepts. We don't want to teach each and every thing what is available from the web or maybe from the PPTs or YouTube. So the framework is designed in a such a way where you can concentrate on the important things. So that's what when I had a one-to-one meeting with many of the students, right? So our job is to make sure to add extra flavors to your current resume or technology. So that's where we are. Venkatesh is kind of 15 years full of data science. So he is a data predictor and he is architect in in India, and he also works for 4 to 5 MLAs. So like he predicts like who can win and what should be done in the future, what should be taken care. So he has a lot of things he developed in his mind. He is very likely minded and he is part of our business. Okay. If you are seriously interested, please listen carefully. I mean, each and every topic, whatever it is very important for us. Okay. So another thing, right? We also teach like how your profile to be made in GitHub. So GitHub, we spend 4 to 5 days to make your profile very strong, and then we spend few days on the LinkedIn. So then we will push your profile to the market. Okay. And every week we cover, theoretical concept, we cover proof of concept. So already we have 20 plus proof of concept designed using AI concept. Everybody will be, given those proof of concepts. So we share the business cases and we request everyone to practice. Okay. So that is our promise. Venkatesh, hope you are ready. Maybe let me unmute yourself.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks.
No problem. That's it.
Yeah. I'm sharing my screen. So I see a few of them are asking their questions like, what is the difference between deep learning and NLP computer vision, right? See, deep learning and machine learning and generative AI are the core concepts for the AI applications. Okay, AI is a kind of the name terminology which I can say that. So to implementing this AI based application, we use these technologies. Okay, instead to utilizing these technologies, we will be going to, because just consider we wanted to be software developer. So we what we do, we go and we enroll some course as in a Java programming. But once you finish the Java programming, okay, in which areas you are going to be expertise, which we need to know, right? As you are the mobile developer, as you are the web developer, as you are the XYZ developer. Okay, so whenever we take up the some programming language, first we decide, okay, on what domain or what kind of the area which we are supposed to be chosen, and based on that we need to onto the path, right? So NLP and the computer vision are the two domains and two different paths, you can consider that. Some people, like in considering the agriculture sector, okay, in AI into the agriculture sector, so you will have the some grain farm, Okay, what you do by taking the image of the grain forms, you have to tell that, you have to predict. Okay, so this grain is going to be available in the next 3 months, and what kind of the temperature has to be required. Oh, is there any insect is happened for this particular grains? Okay, by seeing the image, you need to analyze based on the quality of the grains information and the quality of the leaf of the grain. Okay, that all comes under the computer vision. Text is nothing but in the e-commerce, whatever, wherever you do that, you write some comments, right? Suppose in the Amazon, you consider, okay, you purchase some product. Okay, okay, you just see, considering this system, there will be might have some reviews and everything, right? The people who are purchased earlier, they might be written some of the reviews. Yeah, you can see this one. See, reviews. Love to use super fast and interactive. Okay, this is called the NLP. The text information, whenever you do that, that comes under the NLP domain. Okay, so you always have going to work in the text information only. Okay, that is the difference between the NLP and computer vision. Okay, to implement these domains, you require the deep learning and machine learning concepts. Okay, for this domain to implement any application, that is the major difference. I hope I'm clear. Okay, now we have, even now we have also seen that, okay, for this to analyze these grains, we take up the image and everything. But after taking the image, we need to process, right? How we are going to process those images? So here the picture comes, the Python programming language. And you can ask that, hey Venkatesh, why can't other programming language, when there is a market in the Java, R programming language, SAS, and other Ruby, Rails, and there are multiple programs. Why only you want to go with the Python programming language? So here is the major concept is like many of the industries, one challenge is like to implementing any application, they required minimum 1 year of the time for Java, .NET, other programming language, because writing of one simple function also, it required 10 to 15 lines of code for other programming language. This is the one of the reason majority of the companies are looking who are in the AI expertise with the Python programming language. Okay, so that is a one of the reason to learn the Python with the AI. Okay, next is the reason to implement this machine learning and deep learning generative AI algorithms. Those algorithms was implemented in the Python programming language only. Okay, if it is in the some other programming language, which is very difficult and we require lot of dependency packages. Okay, like in a C languages, if it is written by the C language, we need to install C language software tools and everything in our machine as well. Those, that is the one of the reason also. Many of the people wanted to learn the Python programming language. Okay, so now I hope you people are clear why we are choosing only Python, why not other programming languages. So these are the major two reasons. Many of the companies, they want to build any AI application with the Python only. Okay, so and if you are the non-programmer, if you are the programmer, nothing to worry. Python is a very easy program. We are going to teach you. We have the 10 to 15 years of industry persons who are working into the Python program, Python developer as well. Because Python was Python was came in the 1990s only, but it was popular with the AI based technology, right? AI is also not in the 20 or 2000 or 2010. AI is came in the 1956 only, but due to the lack of the data and lack of the computation, which is not market, which is not popularized this technology. Okay, that is only the difference. Okay, now and the earlier, why the AI is not in the picture and Python is not in the picture. Okay, so just we'll deep dive into the Python programming language. I hope everyone have logged in through their laptop. Okay, so today I'm going to show you like an either me or the Sandeep is going to teach you the Python programming language, installation of the guidance. Along with that, what are the Python fundamentals like in the data types? Okay, because every person, because if considering as a person, for every person have their own set of rules, right? When you wanted to wake up, what kind of the dress code you wanted to do, everything they have their own person, right? For each and every person, they have their own mentality, their own ideology, right? Similarly, Python programming languages also, they have some certain structure and certain syntaxes which we need to follow. Okay, but don't worry, compared to the other programming language, these Python is a very dead easy. Okay, very easy language. You no need to worry about the much syntaxes as well, how to write, and each and every time by end of the line you need to keep as a semicolon or colon. You no need to worry on that. Okay, without that only we can do that. Okay, so that is the reason we are going to teach entire our AI journey through the Python programming only. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, in Python we are going to learn all the data structures, like what is a list, tuples, dictionary, and data organization. Along with the some of the data of our AI career, is journey is to work on more on the data side, right? To handling this data, we require two very the important libraries called numpys and pandas. Okay, those are also libraries which we are going to learn on the Python side as well, because many of the job description, if you see, they will write two lines specifically, do you have a knowledge on the Python pandas, do you have the knowledge on the numpys package. Okay, that's why we have introduced those packages as well. Along with that, you are going to learn the object oriented programming, how to return the classes, how to write the method, what is the inheritance, what is the kind of all the in and every techniques which you are going to learn from this Python for next 2 days. Next two for this week and the next week, we are going to learn on the Python side only, because to implementing any AI applications, we need to know Python language, right? We should be familiar. I mean, some of them already know the Python language, and some of them very new to this language. So don't worry, we are going to cover up from the basics to the advanced of for this next 4 days. Okay. Next, we are going to see some functions and libraries as well, how to utilize this lambdas and maps, filters, and data visualization tool like Seaborn, Plotly, and Matplotlib, kind of various visualization packages also, which we are going to implement with the Python programming language. Okay, and you are going to learn some of the concepts as well. Yeah, these are the some of the error handling technique and file operation technique and advanced data handling techniques and everything which you are going to learn and everything. Okay, this is about the AI workshop and the AI journey. What we are going to learn. Okay, for the next the 4 months of journey, or like in 16 weeks of the program. And today we will be starting with the Python programming language. Okay, so Sampath, are you there?
Venkatesh, I think the Yogesh having network issue. Sampath will be following. But yeah, meanwhile, I
Okay, fine.
want the other two students. I mean, they did some project in our guidance, Ganesh
Mhm.
and Lakshminarayana. So I would like them to share their experience, and then we'll go with the Sampath. So because he has some network issue. Uh,
And go ahead. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
Ganesh, are you
right.
there? Yeah, I think I have to unmute him. Mm. Yeah, can you check now, Ganesh? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can able to hear.
Yeah, just to introduce everyone, Ganesh is I'm a student and he's doing proof of concept under us, and he wants to share some experience how he's leveraging Python and how he's doing the proof of concepts and all. So similarly, you guys have to practice, and we will give the opportunity to talk on about your experience and how you are learning 10 to 15 minutes in every workshop. Okay. So yeah, starting with Ganesh. Ganesh, can you share your experience how you are working on the proof of concept in KKR Chennai? I think he lost. Let me unmute him. Ganesh, are you able to unmute?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, proceed.
Can I share my screen, sir?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Proceed.
Can you see my screen, sir?
Yeah,
Yes, yes, we can see. Go ahead,
yeah,
Ganesh.
yeah, yeah.
So, before sharing my experience, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yes, yes, sir. Yeah. Before sharing my experience, let me tell you something to think about. Have you ever wished you had a very personal assistant who could work 24 by 7, never get tired, and getting better at their jobs, right? So exactly like I'm going to talk about today, like the importance of AI agents. It's like digital workforce, like that transforming our world right now. Like you might be wondering, aren't these just chatbots or simple automation tools? Actually, they are more than that. These AI agents are more than the chatbots. Like think of them like intelligent digital workers who can understand complex problems, make decisions, and even work together in a teams. Like just like human employees, but with the added advantages of never-ending sleep, food, being able to process vast amount of information and continuous learning from every interaction. So these AI agents are currently revolutionizing our world in ways we couldn't imagine uh, in recent now, like in 2025. That the most common term we are hearing right now in the current tech industry, these AI agents, they're like digital employees, like who can work 24 by 7, learn from their experience, like handle complex tasks, like for example helping doctors diagnosing diseases to managing entire supply chains. Like these agents are like becoming essential tools in our modern world. So to understand this AI agents better, let's understand with a simple example. Think about a self-driving car using cameras and sensors to understand what's happening around it. That's a complete perception, right? And next thing is, these AI agents can and learn and reason it. So, for example, when a AI agent helps with customer services, it learns from each interaction to provide better responses next time. And also, they can act autonomously. That means they can make decisions on their own based on their goals and what they learned previously. Like a complete practical example will be like AI agent in a smart homes. It can detect like when you are coming home, learn from your preferred temperature settings, and adjust like heating cooling settings before you arrive to your home. So let us understand this more better, like AI agents in healthcare for creating a personalized treatment plans. It analyzes thousands of similar patient cases to suggest most effective treatments. Also, for example, in cancer treatment, they can recommend personal therapy based on a patient medical history. Also, in the early disease detection, these agents can spot better patterns in medical images, like that might be invisible to human eye. So, also in the discovery, these AI agents are dramatically speeding up the process of finding new medicines. So, these are complete package. Like it learned from the previous experience, it suggests something for us. So, without the human intervention, it is completely doing all the things. Also in the field of business and finance, for in case of predictive analytics, fraud detections, for automated trading, these AI agents acts like security guards watching everything 24 by 7. In the case of fraud detection, you can swipe your credit card, right? So these agents analyze the transactions in very milliseconds, like checking it like what's the current normal spending pattern? Is there any unusual pattern in between? So this is a complete package, this AI agents and all. Also, so currently the AI agents are also useful in the transportation and logistics section. Also, if you see about the current AI agent technologies and framework, so let LangChain, LangGraph, CrewAI, Microsoft AutoGen, Microsoft Semantic Kernel, these are the current frameworks for building your AI agents. So LangChain is like toolkit which helps you to create AI agents understand with the help of natural language processing. For example, like when you ask a legal AI agent to find some cases similar to one of some accident case, it will help us to understand and process this request. Also, LangGraph, which helps to create knowledge networks. Imagine like connecting thousands of dots of information, which helps you to create your AI agents. That means it collecting every piece of information and including in one thing. Your AI agent can able to understand those dots and give information based on that. And the other things are like CrewAI, Microsoft AutoGen, Microsoft Semantic Kernel, which are really useful for building your AI agents. I'm sorry. And going to the benefits of AI agent. So increased efficiency, enhanced scalability, improved automation. So these AI agents don't need breaks, so they can work continuously. For example, a customer service agent can handle thousands of queries simultaneously without any break. It doesn't need any food or it doesn't need any sleep or nothing. Something which is impossible for human beings. But these AI agents can able to do that. So enhanced scalability, so these AI agents can easily handle increased workload. For example, if you suddenly get 10 times more customers, you don't need to hire 10 people or ten more staff. AI agents simply allocates more computing resources. So improved optimization. So it constantly learn and improve. So they analyze patterns in data to find better ways of doing things. And going to the challenges of AI agents, so ethical consideration, private privacy concerns, security issues. So imagine like AI agent helping to decide who gets a loan. We must ensure it treating like everyone fairly regardless of their background. So this means carefully checking the data we used to train these agents and regularly testing the decisions for any of without showing any bias. For example, like AI agent was trained mainly on data from urban areas, so it might not take fair decision for people in rural areas. Like so, they need something unconditional bias. So we need to train in the sense so it doesn't show any bias on based on any background or region or something. So these AI agents are capable of that and privacy concerns. So think about like healthcare AI agent. So it needs to see patient records to make good recommendations. But we must ensure this data is protected like a vault, like with multiple layers of security, because this patient data should not be seen by all the people. It only AI agent need to understand that, make some predictions or some recommendations. And the future of AI agent like enhanced intelligence, increased automation, and continuous integrations. So also like we see some interesting facts like Satya Nadella, we know like the CEO of Microsoft, predicting like major changes. So their vision of AI agents like replacing traditional softwares and becoming digital workers, it's already starting to happen. See if you see this blog is from December 20 to 2024, the recent one. Also, NVIDIA's NVIDIA CEO like Jensen Huang shared his vision for enterprise tech in 2025, like calling it the year of AI agents. So I'll sh- so now I'll share my experience. So as a member of KKR Generative Innovations, like we totally working on new technologies, implementing real world use cases. So this is one of the real world use case. So this project is about AI legal system. So it has three agents actually. So the first agent can read like 1 lakh legal documents in minutes, understanding complex languages, finding relevant cases. So it's having the new library, so that can actually help us to read the documents, understand the documents, process the information, and ask some legal questions. For example, um, take an example. A tenant came to this UI and asking like, my land, I haven't paid my 2 months of rent because my landlord haven't repaired the AC. That's why I haven't paid the 2 months of rent. So what's the legal issues here? What's the legal things I need to proceed? So the first agent can able to understand the user query and process the information. And the second agent, like it connects different pieces of information, like finding patterns and help us to contact the lawyers. For example, it gives some recommendations like, okay, so this is the situation. So as per the law, you need to do these recommendations. You need to make sure you have the lease agreement. Also, you need to make sure you have a communication with your landlord before proceeding with any other new steps or not. So also next, the third agent. Third agent helps to gather all the requirements and it will generate a case report so that you can show it to the attorney and like asking him, so this is my case report, please analyze it and help me with this. So the attorneys will charge some amount of some like $100 or $200, and they'll proceed with your case report and works with favor with you. So this is one of the use case. So this is currently we are building this. If you see this questionnaire, oh, sorry, can't do this. So we are currently working on this project. So it's almost completed. So in the future classes, we will see more about building this AI agents using CrewAI, LangGraph, Microsoft AutoGen. So, like completely, the future of AI agents isn't just about technology. It's about enhancing human capabilities and making our work efficient and effective. So, without human intervention. Yeah, this is from my side, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts
No,
about AI agents.
yeah, no problem, Ganesh. So Ganesh is working on three A agent concept. So like he said, whatever the customer or the business case, so there are three agents involved, and each agent performs different tasks. So agent one takes information, feed to LLM, and get the some output, and agent two, from LLM we get some output in terms of questions, and then different knowledge material, and it will feed to customer again response, and then agent 2 take the response, and then again it will feed to GPT-4 or GPT-4o1, and then we'll get some response. So the agents, like three or four agents, whatever we develop, right? So every agent plays a different role and optimizes the content, and it will give a final report to the customer. So we have like 3 to 4 projects we are currently working with different like legal entities and healthcare and finance. So everybody will be assigned each and every project. Code will be explained. You don't need to worry about scare about the code and all. The code, it's like very easy understanding and easy integration. So Venkatesh, Ganesh, Sampath will be from other area in Python, and Yogesh is in Python expert in OpenAI side. There are multiple people we have experts. So if you start working on proof of concept, definitely someone will pitch in and help you on that. Okay. So we will try to set up one-to-one meetings in Zoom, and we will clarify all your POCs questions. Lakshmi Narayana, are you there? Yeah, maybe you can share your POC experience maybe in 5 minutes. so that Sampath can take the next class. Ganesh is Lakshminarana is there. Let me unmute him. Yeah, okay.
Hi, sir.
Yeah,
Can you
hi.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, proceed.
Hi, all. I'm glad to see all of you here for our first class. So today I'm very excited to share with you the proof of concept for our multi-agent AI project. Our primary goal is to demonstrate how we can leverage LangChain and Chainlit to create a system collaborative of AI agents that can effectively solve the legal problems that the people are facing in today's situations. And our project is mainly on reducing the efforts that attorney can put on a legal case before having all the summary of the case. So in our project, there are multiple AI agents that are involved who are specialized in law, and they can handle specific tasks which are assigned to them, working together with a collaborative framework. Uh, to make this possible, we have built the foundation using Chainlit, from a framework that allows us to link multiple agent models and tools seamlessly. LangChain provides the structure to define each agent's logic and communication protocols, where we have the multiple AI agents. So each agent has to have their specific tasks that has to be assigned to them. As the initial agent will be collecting the information of the case, like basic information, name, phone number, mail ID, and the brief info of the case which has happened with the victim. So from that, the after collecting the data, it will be transferring the data to LLM, where the LLM will process all this stuff with the help of the agent commands, and it will provide some questionnaire to the victims. So if we will be sending that information to the questionnaire to the victim, so the victim can give us the responses what happened with them. And then we are going to feed that information with the next agent, which is called legal secretary agent, which can give us the legal things and all legal, what are the sections that are involved, what are the possibilities that can give the positive support to our victim. And then it will be transferred to the attorney, where the attorney will be going through all the stuff which has happened till now, and the attorney will be giving, like attorney agent will be giving us the final output. And using that, any attorney can have the case and get the info of the case within minutes, without wasting the time of like hours and hours. Our main goal is to reduce the time efforts that has been putting by our attorneys to make them the process simple. And actually, as Ganesh have shown you all the like basic code which are working, like we have developed our UI also. As Ganesh have given you the some demo on like what is what are happening, and like what are the code we are using. So we're using like Python only, for Python libraries for developing all the agents till now, and we are using the Chainlit for the UI for having better collaboration, as I have previously mentioned. Like for using the LangChain, the main key benefits are like scalability, like we can easily add or update the agents to expand the system's capabilities. And the next point is like collaboration. Agents are sharing intermediate results, as I've shown you in between the first stage. After the first agent evaluation, it will be fed into the next agent. So to ensure the final output is consistent and well-rounded, as like a final attorney should be giving us the a perfect piece of summary of the case, to where the all attorneys can have the info of the case within minutes without wasting any time of them. Like user-centric design, Chainlit provides an intuitive way for the users to interact with the complex AI systems without technical expertise. Like using Chainlit will provide the basic like easy UI interactions for the victims to interact with our AI systems. So we are using Chainlit for giving that easiness to the customers. So like this is all about our POC, and this is all about the stuff that we have worked on till now under the guidance of the Kodandram sir and the KKR team.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Lakshmarana. So yeah,
Yes.
I think there are three people working on this project and they're finishing. And we cannot share the BRD and all because we got some business on this project. So, but yeah, so we are kind of developing a similar kind of business cases in other segments like healthcare and finance and all. And whoever is enrolled in this, course, right? So they will be assigned and we will personally guide you each and everything. Believe us, like these are like very hot topics in the market. If you put in your resume and if you prove yourself, you are gone. So that's what our gut. So be with us and be strong, be confident, and learn what you want. We are with you all. Yeah, so just to engaging, right? So we planned a very good POC today by Yogesh, but in India he has some house in the apartment. He has some technical issue and he is not able to join. And on his place, Sampath from California, he is going to join now in few minutes, and he's going to take the class on Python. And Sampath is like he is my colleague, and he has 15 years of experience in MNC. We don't want to call out the name, and but he has huge experience in Python, more like production and support kind of activities, and he involved many automations handling in Python. So he is kind of our tutor, more on basics and intermediate level Python, and on the advanced level. Venkatesh and other, there are two people who will take classes, and slowly Sampath will, get into advanced. And we have a lot of stuff. Like currently, there are 4 POCs are completed, and to complete these 4 POCs by our team, it takes minimum 4 weeks of time. So, 1 minute. Let me see if Sampath joined. Give him 2 minutes. He's just pinging me that he's joining. He's in PST time. The thing is, he joined in other mobiles. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, so our objective is to teach, AI concepts more on like generative AI topics with respect to your technology. Let's say if you are an Azure cloud engineer with IAM or maybe network, so we will teach Azure OpenAI. OpenAI, OpenAI is different. Azure OpenAI is different. Azure OpenAI is a platform as service component in Azure cloud services. So we will teach you how to leverage OpenAI keys and how to deploy Azure OpenAI services under OpenAI platform, and we will teach you how to leverage GPT-4. We will teach you how to leverage GPT-4o1. So I mean, it is all about like small POCs in terms of coding and all, but you will get good knowledge. So in even in your organization, that if you join in big MNC or big companies, so they don't expect to write thousands of lines of code. Currently, everywhere it's a microservices or like a segment level concept. So you need to understand how you can write that 50 lines of code and how you are integrating with app and how you are calling, how you are managing the APIs and how you are leveraging the AI service into the business. So that is what the managers or the industry is expecting. So people who having scary about coding, you don't need 90%. You don't need to scary about coding. You don't need to write a code. So if you know how to pull the code snippets from the existing market or existing tools, that is enough. So that's where we are here to teach how you can work on different projects and all. So yeah, I see Sampath is joined. Let me unmute him. So Sampath, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yeah, Kulu. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to pull you your time because Yogesh dropped off due to electrical issue in his apartment. But
Okay.
I want you to take now. Yeah.
So was he able to cover the installation part, or shall I just go?
No, I think
Okay.
he's not at join because he said he
Okay.
you can cover basic and installation and or maybe you can cover whatever you have in your agenda. And
Okay.
I mean, all our people, I spoke with all the participants. Most of them are, they knows what we teach and they have all, I mean, I see, I really appreciate everyone because last 1.5 hour they are listening and all 55 people listening and interestingly. So that is what we expect. For us to teach, strongly, we need this kind of motivation. Okay. Thank you, all audience. Sampath, you can proceed.
Sure. Uh, okay. Yeah. Thanks, Kula. Hey, all. Good morning. Good evening, everybody. So, so today the plan is to just cover the basic installation of Python. So, which I'll give a brief of about the installation and starting with few minor concepts of Python, right? Something like keywords and the data types and the types of data types, and also, yeah, those are the topics which we wanted to cover in the first session. And the later sessions will be much onto the complex Python functions or class definitions, file handling, data comparison, multiple things that comes in Python, right? So, and where Python is basically adaptable or applicable. So those things will cover in the later session. So this will be just an intro on Python and getting you started with Python. So that's the agenda. Let me just share my screen. So as you all know, right? So it's in high demand language and it's quick to learn. So that's what makes Python famous or pretty critical or important. And also it's lightweight programming, right? So when I started a few years back, so it was just it's around like maybe close to 9 to 10 years, right? So as simple as it, right? So what is the basic thing you need to run a Python program? So you just go. I'll start sharing my screen. Mm. Okay. So the first thing what we need, any of your OS that you're using, you can even use Python on Linux OS easily. So the current project I'm working on, so I mostly use most of the Linux based OS systems. So it's similar, right? So whatever the OS you use, like Windows, Mac, or Linux based OS. So the simplest thing we can do is you can just go to open any browser, you go to Python download, right? So you can go to the python.org. So it will give you the latest version, which is the 3.13. So ideally, so when coming to the project, right, or in the real-time experience, none of the project use the latest version of any of the package that is available, any of the module or package or a programming language or IDE, anything, right? So none of the projects use, or majority of the projects I've worked in, they don't use the latest version. So the latest version is 3.13. So the one which I'm currently working on a big MNC project, it's 3. Actually, what we are using is 3.6. And we recently upgraded to 3.7 because there were some security issues with 3.6. So that is the version that we use. And few other projects in other firms might be using 3.8 or 3.9. So that's one thing, right? Anybody asks you a question, right? Okay, what's the latest version? Why don't we use the latest version of Python in any of the projects? Is because, as you know, right, any version that is in the market or that is open, it has to be a strong and robust version. Sometimes what happens is, and also any project or MNC that we work for, right, there is something called a security team. So those guys are, apart from the programming and the development that we do, so there is a team specific, like none of the programs that we install or the packages that we are running, does not open the system to open threads. So that is the security teams part. So there will be multiple teams. If you're coming to a project, there will be multiple teams, right? So if you get into like some app development project using Python or real-time AI, or you're developing a chatbot, anything, right? So what you will be confined is you will be given normally a list of versions that you could use. Let's say, okay, I want to use Python here. So what kind of version is allowed in that project or in that firm? So those things are stipulated and defined by the security teams. So that's one reason why any of the projects you hear, okay, we are not using 3.8. You don't think it is like, okay, why are you using an outdated version? It's not like that. Those are the robust and most verified versions within that form, something like that. So you can just go to this page background. So mostly what I try to induce is like from my real time experiences, right? Instead of just going through the what is it the teaching part, just like giving you the theory. So that might not help you, right? You could just get it anywhere. So what we try to induce or add on to you is like bringing our real time experiences. So majority of the hosts here worked like numerous years of experience in IT across multiple platforms. So what advantage you get is, okay, from all our like 10, 15 years of experiences, you'll get it in the class. So, okay, so why we don't use it? So you need not go back and search and do anything, right? These are like real-time experiences which we can give you. So I try to put in most of it whenever I'm bringing up a concept. So how it helped me in my various projects and how it would help you in later time. Yeah. So installation is simple. You can just go in here. You can just download the exe file. What you do is you can just double click and run it. It's very simple, and there will be a prompt in between. So to add it in the environment variables, always click yes. So what happens is any of the installation that you do, always follow the prompts. And with Python, it's just simple. You just double click it, you download and double click it, you'll get a prompt to add it in under environment variables. Always click yes. And then once it is done, you'll have Python installed. It's as simple as that. There shouldn't be any issues. If you get any issues later on, you can just use the chat channels and we'll be able to help you. So have it installed. And then the next thing is, right, so if, okay, say it's already installed on my machine. So I've opened up the terminal. So how do I check it? So just type in the Python keyword. Okay, so all the Python 3, right? So earlier versions like 2.7 or any version before that. So it works if you want to see Python, right? So usually few years back, I used to just use Python. So if I used to give Python, it used to bring up like, okay, your version is 2.7. That is the version that is installed. And the current version on this is my personal machine. It's not my project one, right? So my project, if I type in the Python 3, it will give me like 3.6 on few servers and 3.7 on few servers. So now what it says is Python is not recognized because that version is deprecated on this machine. I'm not using 2.7. I'm using 3.11, right? So you just open up your command prompt. So if you're using Windows, all you need to do is give the Windows logo and go to the CMD. It will launch up the command shell. So just type in Python 3, you would get the similar output. So what this means is you have Python installed on your machine. So ideally, you could use IDE, any IDE or Python default IDE or Anaconda or Jupyter or any other IDEs, right? So firstly, whenever you want to learn, try to do it on the shell, the command prompt, so that you would understand it easily. And also what it does, right? It's kind of a playground to me. So okay, I want to do something, right? I have a bigger program running in parallel. Like say in my some file, I have a bigger program. I want to see, okay, or I'm starting with the Python, right? So I don't know what it is. So this is my shell. I need not write lines of code in a program, save it in a file, and then execute it. I can just play it around here. Like, okay, I want to see something like this. Okay, so I've defined a variable here, x, sa, comma, right? It's so I would like to say what is the type. So okay, it's a string. So what I've defined X as is a string. So something like that. As simple. This is very basic. So if you want to see, okay, you've defined something and you want to know what type it is, or you want to manipulate with it. You need not run the entire program. You can just open up your shell, do it, and this is the starting way to learn programming, especially in Python. You don't want to start developing lines of code and then execute it and then find out error, which line you're getting it error, and try to fixing it. The minor parts, right? Just like Kola was saying a few minutes back, it's all like microservices. So this is not a microservice, but this is like micro programming. Consider it as like that, right? In between you want to run. So that's the beauty of Python. It's easy. Let me go back to this. Okay, yeah. So all you have to do is quit. So once you do it, I can just do it again. That's fine. So the installation part, I guess most of you are clear. So just go to python.org. This is where you'll have all the versions for Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. So you just do it simple. And also while coming to, if you want to get it installed in Linux, right? Just as an add-on. So Linux OS. So there will be package or app. So similar, right? So however we do it on Windows machine, we generally download the exe file. You double click on it and do it. So Linux doesn't have a user interface, right? It's all like command lines. So where it will have some modules like, okay, yum install Python. So something like that. So this yum, these are just an add-ons to keep you interested or motivated, so that once you get into project, it's not like you'll always be given a Windows machine or Windows server to work on. So majority of the projects or large scale projects use Linux OS systems. So you need not that's pretty much simple only. So while installation, you just use it like yum install Python or any other package manager that particular OS use, rel, right? So these are the commands. So in contrast, so how we do it in Windows, you would have done it numerous times so far. You download, double click on the exe. On Linux, if you see, it will have the similar command line prompt, right? Linux shell. You just issue the command yum install Python. It will try to install it. And the next one, what we use is for basic or the standard programming, you don't need any package manager. Just Python is enough. So just like I showed you, right? I opened up my terminal. Yes, this is fine. Okay, yeah. So this is what I was doing earlier, right? So right now I have Python installed. If Python isn't installed, so what it would show is, yeah, it's not a recognized keyword or a command. So any doubts or anything? I'm not reading the chat, but
I think basic questions we are answering, Sampath.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Kala. Yeah, I think this is what the preface I was thinking Yogesh or someone would have given, but that's fine. Yeah, this is the preface. Let's not spend much time on it, right? As I repeated few times. So it's just download and exe. If you have any questions, you can use the chat window in terms of installation or any troubleshooting you have. The only problem that you'd get while running it on Windows is if you don't click on the environment variable prompt, you might not when you open command prompt and run Python, you won't see the expected output. What you would hear is like, okay, it's not a recognized command, so that it's not added to your environment variables. That's the only problem you'd get. Other than that, everything should be fine. Okay, so this is with the installation, and I was saying, right, Python package installation. There is some. So whenever we want to install any modules, right, other than the built-in or predefined, like if you're using Paramiko or few other modules, we'll cover. So pandas, you would have heard if somebody has worked on Python at the basic level or tried learning Python. So these are all the packages that we need, right? So how does it work? So we need pip something called Python package manager. We call it as pip. So what it does is just like your import statements, right? Any of the programming language, you go into the class, like you open up the module, you use the import statement to import packages, something like that. If you want to use download a bigger package, so in Python, if you want Python to use it, all you need is pip. So let me see if I have pip installed or not. To come back, you need to use quit. Yeah, sometime back I've used it. Yeah, I have pip installed. So what is the package manager of Python? Somebody asked you. So you would so it's pip. It's a package installation manager. So you use pip. What is the advantage of pip is, or use of pip is, as I was saying, right? There are multiple third-party packages like pandas or anything. Those are not provided by Python, but they fit in Python. So that what makes Python more strong and powerful and adaptive language, right? So how do you incorporate? Just like what is that? You would have seen the add-ins, right? You would have heard add-ins. Something like, if you're using Excel, there will be multiple add-ins. Like somebody might have used Notepad, right? So Notepad has multiple add-ins. So if you use Notepad plus plus, so what is it? It gives a basic tool, right? So you can do it. And well, if you want to compare two files within the Notepad, there is something called compare add-in. So it's not installed by default by Notepad. It's kind of an add-in that you need to install it. So what it does is as simple as it is. You can try this as well, right? If you're not using Notepad plus plus, start installing it. It's pretty much easy than a textpad or a Notepad. You'd find it. So add-in is something which we compare. So what we can compare in the Notepad plus plus, you can compare two files, find the missing lines or additional lines. Everything it does is, so what it does, it is being done by something called compare. So it's the add-in function, something like that. So Python, you have it as a package, the base package. If you want to extend it capabilities, or if you want to read multiple, like say, example, right, pandas. So what we use pandas for? So what we learned is Python installation and OS type, OS, very basic on what it is, right? And what we need is pip as a installation package manager. Currently, what we are trying to understand is why do we need pip? So why don't Python have everything, right? It's something like that I'm trying to explain. So let's consider it as installation package manager. So why do we need? So something like, okay, you would have remember this word pandas, right? So most of the things use it even in advanced, right? So this is as I was saying, it's the add-on package manager. So how do I install it? How do I tag it to Python? So just like we need pip. So first installation of pip is also simple. If you go to this line, I have it stored here. This is the second step you could do it. Like say first exercise is to, if you don't have Python installed, go install Python. Maybe I can just put up some. Okay, try to do these things after the class. And installation of pip, right? So this is the only way you can install pip anywhere. So it's not like in an exe file. You just go to this URL, and what it does is you need to copy this entire. You can download it basically. They've changed it. That's nice. This is the way which I usually do. This is the code, right? You just copy it onto a text file, just run it, just save it as get pip.py or the pip install.py, and you just run it. So once you do it, so just like this, right? You go to this website, you go to this portal, just copy the code and save it as any function.py. So all Python files have the extension p.py. So this is when we tell the system it's a Python file, it's a Python script, or it's a Python module. So this is the basic extension .py. So once you copy it, if you don't have pip, so once you copy the code onto your text pad, save it anywhere, and you just need to go to that directory, launch the command prompt, and do the command python 3 get pip.py. It will start installing pip, just like I'm showing, right? It will just do it. You do the install. So this is what I did a while back, like last year or so on my personal machine, but something like that. Yeah. So what is the extension? You know it, right? Now it extension. If you want Python to execute any file, it has to be the extension .py. That's what makes it a Python module. There will be multiple naming conventions, right? People call it Python script, Python module, or Python package is nothing but collection of modules, right? Just like we're using pandas as a package, so it will have multiple classes defined or modules defined within Python, pandas, whoever the developer team was, right? So I can give in the lines here. So this is what we need to do. Yeah, this will be a little boring. I'm trying to make it more interactive or else explanatory as possible. But these are like important things you need to learn, right? These are pretty simple and quick steps, but you need to learn because once you get into a project, most of the machines might not have Python. As I was saying, some security concerns or they don't give Python by default. You have to install yourselves and you would have to do it numerous times. So always try your hands on and installing it. Why do you need big? Only thing, right? So okay. I have, I'll again go back to the real time experience. So, okay. So I have worked on my machine, right? So this, consider this is my project machine. I have worked on it. I have developed a simple package, simple utility. So I'm not using any UI. I have not developed any app. So all I have is I've installed Python. I have installed pip. I've installed few packages like pandas. And I have a some compare.py. So what I'm doing with this compare.py is what it does is I'm comparing two flat files. So what is a flat file? So any file that you use like the CSV, that's a very basic format, right? Comma separated value file. So why don't we use, somebody might think, okay, what is a flat file? Why do you need a CSV format only? In the regular works that we do, we always, what do we use? We always use docx, which is the Word document, or an Excel file, Excel XX, the latest version, right? Or XLS, the older version, Excel. So, but when coming to the projects, so we don't deal with the small data. Like say, as I was saying, right, MNC, what is a multinational company, right? So what is it? Like, okay, consider you're working for a bank, HDFC Bank, right? So as in you're working for a bank, as in you're developing some utility like the HDFC online banking, you're working for a HDFC online banking app. Most of you have used the online banking website, right? Whether it HDFC, SBI, or any other bank account you have. So if you're considering that there are multiple teams involved in it, like consider you're working on a credit card section, one of the module that you see, right? So bigger projects, how it works is okay, HDFC online banking. So that will be bigger team, very bigger team. So in that, people will some teams work for like your savings account. Some might work for direct account, or some might work for some part of the team will work for credit card, and part of the team will work for debit card. part of the team will work for personal loan. So whatever the UI you are using, if you log in your, if you're accessing your online banking, so everything is like developed by someone, some party, right? Some team, shorter team. So let's say imagine we are working for the HDFC credit card app the tab development. There is something, okay? So how many cards are there? How many credit cards have been issued by HDFC? Like in millions, right? Across the country, there are millions of cards. So what it tells us, there is millions of data, millions of rows of data. So if you use Excel for it, it would crash and it has a limit, right? So how do you deal such huge amount of data? Not Excel, not docx, or not anything. A database it's in the back end, right? Somebody might think, okay, we store it in the database, but it's not like you can access database all the time, or for your manipulation or for your data processing. You can't directly hit the database, get the query, save it in runtime memory, and then implement the business functions. So there are many terms I'm throwing in. You can just note down. You can do the due diligence from your end, understand what is a business function, so something like that. If you have any queries after it, you can just post in and come back to us. So yeah. Okay. I have given a brief much about it. So yeah, imagine that. Okay, why do we need it? So what is programming, or basically what is a development team or a testing team? Blah blah blah. Right? You would those are all what we have been living through for years. So real time is, think of it. Any website you're using, like say, okay, this is a website that you're using, a portal, right? Python. So there is a development team that are developing these tabs. That's what making it accessible. Just like I'm saying, okay, consider it as documentation docs. So there is a team defined for documentation or a community. So they have to see all the hyperlinks work. And if I'm going to docs, this page has to load, and the footer has to be like this. And it has to give me this menu section. And once I click on it, it has to go in. So these are all like the definitions or the requirements that this particular documentation team works, which is part of the python.org. This is the example. Yeah, it's good. I would have showed you this. Yeah, something like that. So not a simple team works on it. There are numerous teams working on this UI development. Yeah. So coming back to our thing. Okay, why do we need flat files? That's an example. So because we deal with millions of rows of data, so it makes it simple. Like the flat files could be multiple formats, right? People use .csv as the very basic one, which we know as the comma separated. And there will be something, if you go into the ETL platform, there will be .done file. They can name it multiple things. The extensions which we might not hear until we get into those projects. So when coming back is, I have developed a compare.py program. So what I'm doing with this compare.py, so I'm trying to compare two flat files, two CSV files. So one is the source and one is the target, right? So they're on some location. Consider they're on the same folder or some other machine. I'm sourcing the files. So what it does is it will show the rows missing, it will compare. It could do anything, right? Comparison is various things. What is compare? I am not comparing, okay, it has 10,000 rows, it has 10,000 rows. No, like say I have columns, right? Just like the headers. So I have 30 columns in each. I'm expected is what? 30 columns. All the 30 column values should match. And what I'm doing is I highlight missing data. So I have few other functions within this compare.py. So, okay. So to run, so this is what I have done in my machine. As I was saying, my project given laptop, I have developed this. So now somebody in the testing team wants to run it. Because this package, this utility, consider it as an utility, a simple Python utility or a package that I have developed to compare two flat files, which could be of the any format. So it will look for all the columns. Like the source is nothing but my target, like the file A is my source, and my target is the file B. I'm comparing these two, right? So whatever the columns that are present in file A has to be in file B. and the data has to match. It's not simple, right? If you're dealing with, like, say, 40,000 rows, it's not simple. 40,000 rows by 30 columns. Even if you're running Excel compare, it will hang up. So in Python, it will just execute in minutes. Okay. So, okay, coming back, this could be your, this is something kind of an project that we will cover on the later session. So this is very good utility. That's why I brought it up, because if you go into the market and okay, go into the web market, as in you just Google and search for, okay, data compare utilities. None of the utilities are free. Free as in open source. So Python is open source, right? I'm not paying anything here. I'm just going into the python.org, I'm downloading it, I'm able to install it on my machine. But while going to the few packages, right, like VLC player that we used to watch videos, right? So those are all openware. Anybody can download it and do it. But there are few packages, like if you're trying to do an Instagram reel, right? There are reel making apps that are there. They're not free. You have to pay some amount, like monthly or annually. So something like that, right? So if you're comparing, if you want to go into the market and look for any comparing utility with flat files, they're expensive. They're pretty expensive. As in each you'll have like 3-4 sessions and you have to pay thousands of dollars just to use the tools. So what, okay, that is one good example which I worked on in my current project, right? So the use cases or the business cases, I'll just try to cover this up in 2 minutes. So this is an interesting part. So why Python is critical, why Python is in high demand, even if in schools they're teaching Python, right? So my use case was to the same use case, comparing two flat files, but it wasn't this simple. There are multiple manipulations that I have to do with while doing the compare. Manipulation as in you're trying to change the data. So some source, right? You would have heard of the taxpayer number SSN here. Okay. So something like this will be there. So while reading it and comparing it, how I need to do is I have to give, this is a very basic manipulation that we need to do. So something, this is right. And while comparing, if there is a first name, last name, middle name, last name, right? I need to convert everything into uppercase and then compare, or lowercase or compare. So I cannot compare unequal cases, right? So this is a very basic manipulation that we do. Or what else? Like, say I have a column 1 and column 2. Columns are nothing but in Excel, right? You have the headers, so, or the header ones, right? So what I would do is, so the manipulation example would be, like, say, first 3 letters of column 1 plus, say column 2 plus 1 if column 3 value, column 3 is Y, or 2 if column 3 is no. So this is some example of a data manipulation. Like what we're trying to do manipulation is, there are 3 columns and you're deriving a new column within the data, and what you have to do is you have to do it for the entire 40,000 rows. Imagine that is the complexity that we face. So there are tools in the market which can does all this stuff, but they're expensive. But with Python, and only thing that I have used is Python and pandas. So with those packages, what I have developed, I've spent some time and I've developed a Python package utility. So what it does the same thing. All you have to do is you have to code. So how much money it saved? It saved thousands of dollars. So that is the magic or importance of Python. So with any other programming language, you might need to spend more time, but from my real-time experiences, yeah. So compare this. This is a very good utility. You could do it yourselves once you have acquired sufficient knowledge in Python. So see how complex this is a data manipulation would be. Okay. So that is a minor example, right? So that is the use case. You could just keep a point somewhere. In the later sessions, we will cover this as well. Just keep a note on it. You could start exploring on what I've just said. So that is the importance of flat files, right? So that comparison we could do. So that is enough on installation on Python, and most of it I've covered is why Python is important and how we install Python, pip, and what are flat files and what is the need of flat file, and what is data manipulation. What are the terms that we've learned so far? Business functions, right? Try to explore on what is a business function and what we have heard of. If it's of a data manipulation or data handling. Data handling is nothing but reading the file, reading, accessing, editing, or exporting, importing the file. That's all like data handling within the data within that file. You're playing with the data, right? So something like that. And business function is nothing but consider this as a business function. It's nothing but a requirement. You can also look for what is a business requirement. Okay, so that's with enough of it. So I'll just at the end of the session I'll paste it in the chat channel. So you should be good. So yeah, let's go back few things. Kola, we still have some time, right?
Yeah, you can proceed. Yeah.
Okay. I hope you guys are getting involved and it's interesting. I'm throwing in a lot of real-time examples, which is pretty much useful, or else which I'll also cover those in the later sessions. Yeah. So yeah, coming back to the terminal, right? So this is what is the use of terminal and the importance of it I've already covered. So I want to play with it, right? Let's go. I have a PPT set up. Yeah. Okay. Let's go dive into the basic topics of Python, right? Before we end this session. So keywords. What are the keywords, right? Anything that is already reserved within Python or uh, say some other programming language. Currently, let's confine ourselves to Python, right? So Python keywords, what are the keywords? Those are the reserved words. So you would have heard of it. So keywords, we can't use it as a variable or as a function or anything, right? Those are used for specific purposes within the Python programming. Those words are nothing but called as a keywords. So in contrast, what Python does is it doesn't show if you're trying to use a keyword, right? It won't tell you, okay, you're using a key boss, you're using a keyword. You can't use a keyword. Few syntax messages you would get it from other programming languages, but Python you'll just get a syntax error. It won't tell you, okay, you're using a keyword which you are not support. It will just throw a syntax error. I'll show it just in some time. So that's the highlight on the keywords, right? And there are specific set of keywords. I think in 3.8 there are around 35 keywords which are defined, and keywords are different from built-in functions. I'll cover the built-in functions a later time, but for now, remember like keywords. In any programming language you would hear keyword. Consider it as reserved words. They are meant to do some function. They're meant to do some activity. You can use keywords only when that purpose is required or when that purpose is needed. You cannot use keyword as a variable. Like say I was showing something, right, in my terminal sometime back. I was showing, okay, this is what I did, right? X is a variable, so I've defined a string here. So X is a string, so something like that. So if you're using, okay, false as something like Sam. Okay. What it says, false is a keyword. True or false, right? Boolean. So what it did is, okay, I just defined a variable here, a string. X is a string. It didn't give me any error, and also it didn't do anything because I didn't access X yet. Consider it this way. These two lines, what it does, I didn't access X. So it is good. So I've tried to define another variable, try to put the same value Sam, which is a string, under false. So what it gave me, it gave me a syntax error, cannot assign to false. This is what I was saying. So in Python, keyword errors are always syntax errors. If you're trying to use a keyword, it's a syntax error. That is one contrast from other languages. let's go over this a bit. So how do you know, right? You can always Google and find out what are the defined keywords in Python. Or else what we have is, in the same way I can import, as I was saying, right? Import keyword. So what it does is it imported this package keyword, so which is the built-in within Python. I didn't do anything, right? What I did was I installed Python 3. I had pip, I haven't used so far. Within Python, I'm trying to import. So this, consider it as, so most of you are well versed with import, right? Import statement. So what it does is I have, see, it's a ocean, right? Within Python, there are multiple packages. I was saying I installed pandas. So as to use pandas, so how do I use it in my program? I have to import it. You just like we are borrowing money from a bank. So I have no money. So what do? I need money. I need to get money. So it's something like that, right? So you're importing it. So I have to import keyword, which is the module that has everything that we need right now to find out what is our aim is to know what are the keywords in Python. Somebody asked me, okay, how do you get the keyword list in Python? So what I do is I just import keyword, and then we use keyword, and then it has few functions, right? KW list. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to access KW list. This is a list by the name, right? Which is part of the keyword package. So once you do it, so what it does is instead of what it does, it printed something, right? This is kind of a list. So we'll cover it as under the data types as well. So what we did first line, we imported it. And then after importing, I need to use it, right? That's why I'm importing. So how to use it? If you always have to give the package dot, this is basically a list, or else it's a function within the package. You could use that or something like that. So what the shell did is it just immediately printed it. So what I did before, X, right? I've defined a variable X. If you see here, X. So far I didn't kill this session, right? So everything is in memory. In memory is nothing, but everything is stored here. I didn't store it anywhere, right? I don't have a file open. I don't have a Python module which is saved. So everything is in shell, is in memory. Before, until I close this session, X is stored until I kill it. Similarly, I have imported keywords. So until I close this session, keyword is always used, is always stays imported. So what it does, I just typed in X and I hit enter. So it printed it. So instead of giving print of X, see, instead of giving print of X, I just typed in X, it immediately printed. The only difference here, if you see, it's in quotes. So here it just printed. It anyway, it's a string, right? So if you need to get the list of all the keywords, this you can just remember it. I'm explaining. So why do we need import and what is import? So because import is like basic thing which we'll use throughout, right? And how are we accessing the list within the keyword? It's like keyword dot KW list. So this will give you the list of all the keywords that Python has and which we shouldn't be using it to define it as a variable, function, or a class name, or any other identifier. Anything, you shouldn't be using keywords. If you use it, what you'll get? You'll get a syntax error. So one interview question would be, what are the different types of errors in Python? So you could say syntax error. Somebody asks you, okay, give me an example of syntax error. It's syntax, right? You're not typing it right as expected. Or else you can give this example. Like if you're using if you use any keyword, for example, like say, it will give you a syntax error. Different types of errors. It's always good to learn different types of errors, because once we say, okay, we worked on something, not everything works out, right? If you're working on a utility, like said, the utility what I was explaining on, I face multiple and numerous issues while developing this utility. So obviously within the while developing, I would have gotten across multiple exceptions or syntax errors, right? So that's why do people ask, okay, different types of errors? Because they wanted to test whether we have the real-time hands-on or not. So that's why we cannot just say, okay, no, I haven't faced any others, right? Obviously, every programmer, everybody, irrespective of the number of years of experience, they would have faced some issues. That's normal, just like typos, right? So yeah, this is what it is. If you want to do it, and also if I have to test, right? Okay, I don't know something, or I'm writing something, and I don't want to import keyword and get the list of it, and I want to test something, right? So like say also okay, see import. So if this is a bigger package, I don't want while programming, right? I don't want to type in keyword all the time, right? Maybe I'll just import it as K, for example. It's not a proper convention, but I'll just say use K. So instead of using keyword, it's an alias for keyword, right? Instead of using keyword everywhere in my program, I could just use K. This is the alias, as simple as. So what we're trying to do is instead of using the keyword everywhere, I use just K. How can I use K? I've created an alias while importing itself. So this is pretty much important. Well, in real time, you would be importing multiple packages. If you open up any Python module, your package list would be like 5 to 10, easily 5 to 10 lines of import statements itself. So this is one alias. So as simple as that. And okay, the other point which I wanted to say is, okay, I wanted to know if it's a keyword or not. Let's say maybe is keyword. So what I was trying to do, if that function exists or not, k dot is, and I'm hitting tab. If you see, it's giving me the options. Is keyword of, maybe I'll just use, what is the keyword here? Delete, right? Del is delete. Let's see if it's a keyword or not. It says true. True meaning del is a keyword. Let me say dels. This is not a keyword, so I can use dels for delete. So if I use the same for delete del as a string I want, I'll get that. So this is with the keywords, which is important. At least you will get familiar, right? So you started working and we do not know, okay, what is a keyword list, or else I might forget in some time, right? I'm using something within the keyword. So I won't get the keyword error. I would just get syntax error. So I might be spending some time. So if you want to test it, you could just use the keyword. How to do it? Import and then get the KW list, or else use the is keyword function. This is a function, right? So this is the argument I'm sending. So it will write it. So what this line is doing? We have to understand, right? Okay, there is a built-in package keyword. I'm importing it as K, which is an alias K. So what I'm trying to do with it, I need to get the keyword list. So what it is happening in the background is, so whatever is the KW list, it's a defined within the keyword. It is trying to access it. How am I accessing it? With a dot operator. And before dot, what it is, the actual package that I've imported, and I'm accessing this list which is defined within the keyword. If you see dels here, this is what I define this variable. It could be even a list also, but here it is already defined within the keyword package, keyword module. I am trying to accessing it. It's already defined. Everything is defined there. So I'm trying to access it. And this is a function. So similarly, I'm using a list here and I'm trying to access a function. So it's nothing but this is keyword function is defined by somebody who has developed Python within the keyword package. So I'm just trying to use it. So I'm imported it, I'm doing it. So within it, what they would have written, just imagine, okay, there is something, how would you write it? So you could just say, okay, this will be your next assignment. You could just mention it. So what you do is define your own list later time, not exactly after today, but after few classes, we will be able to do it. Okay, define a function with a set of keywords. with a set of words. Let's not use keywords because I want it to be a set of words which whatever you like. You could use like 10 to 20, whatever you want. And you should be able to, and later what we do, similar to is keyword. And then you import it in another module and call that function. Okay, that is what we are doing here. But contrast is someone else already developed everything for us. We're trying to access it, something like that. So you get into a project, right? Most of the times you don't need to start from scratch, or else you won't get into a project which is a pipeline, as in which just started. Okay, day zero is nothing but okay, the project started from today. There is nothing for the project. All I have is requirement documents. So there is never a case, because I mean there are cases, but it's very rarely it happens for anybody, right? Always when you're getting into a project, obviously there is a requirement in the project that's already been running project. So there is already a set of code or set of packages, programs already developed by your team members or ex team members who left the team. So all you have to do is you have to understand whatever it is already available. Like say, this is the example, right? Okay. Imagine yourself, you've joined the Python org team of the company. So this is already built, as I was saying, this is already built. Somebody wants some other, a list here. Like instead of Python books essays, they say Python references. Somebody wants a reference link. So that will be your requirement after small training. You joined as a UI developer, right? So you need to understand. So, okay, it's already developed, and you need to understand where documentation is, and then you need to find the menu items of the documentation where it is. All you have to do is you just need to add a menu item after this Python documentation. So before to do it, so there is already code written, right? Code developed for how Python essays work. There is already a defined code. You could always refer that code. You could always copy that code, and similarly you create it. So similar, see, if you see, it just has some text and then it has hyperlinks. It has nothing much other than that. So what C below is, it's an hyperlink, right? Something like that you need to develop. So you'd always use it. So whoever developed this Python essays and documentation, they would have imported multiple packages. Not in Python, I'm saying as an example, in UI development also, something like that. And going back to my example, okay, I have as I was saying, we have developed compare.py. Okay, and somebody wants to enhance it. So what is the basic feature I have developed is this thing. I have used this manipulation, and somebody wants some other manipulation, right? So the same thing, they wanted to add, the requirements could be, this is the one, right? They have something called they're adding a new column. So altogether it's a same requirement, but they have some modifications to it. There is a column 4, and you do something else with column 4 value. Basing on column 4 value, you would just say anything, right? Imagine, right? You're saying you're adding the first name or last name as well. So somebody wants to do it. So just to add, like you're joining my team, right? Instead of developing everything from scratch, what you do is just import whatever I've developed, and you just use the code and you define a new function to it. So this I would have achieved by a function, right? Set of commands, set of executable statements that we give in, right, to execute within a program, and function does it repetitively itself. So you can just copy this function. You could just add it another argument or parameter column 4, and you do the manipulation per your requirement. Similarly, that's what we're doing. So somebody defined it. I'm trying to use it, make use of it, whatever somebody defined, to avoid mistakes, basically syntax errors. So this is with the import, and I'll just take maybe 10 more minutes. And as I was saying, 35 keywords within Python 3.8. This list, basically the keywords list basically changes by the package. They sometimes add in few keywords as well, or change from built-in functions I said, right, which we'll cover later. So coming to the data types, right, I'll just Kola, I'll just cover this slide, and maybe tomorrow we can get into the Python data type examples and everything. Is that fine?
Sure, Sampath. Yeah. So you may need 5 more minutes, right?
Yeah, just 5
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah, you're the final one. We don't have any other topics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's almost 2 hours, right? It's late in India, but yeah, you can cover this slide and we can cover it next class. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, in detail we will learn tomorrow on Basecamp. So I'll just give a preface of what we learn tomorrow, right? So we will learn about strings. Everybody have heard of strings. An interesting fact about, or else tricky thing about Python is there is no character data type in Python. So is there a character data type in Python? No, we don't have a character data type in Python. So all the difference is, so X, right? So S is a character, right? So usually in other way, you would see it as a character data type. So there is no character data type in Python. All is a string. So X could be this, X could be this, anything, right? So the only type is like, okay, X. If somebody asks, okay, what is a character data type in Python? There is nothing. Everything is a string. So what? So how do you get a character? A string with one letter, right? A string with one length is nothing but a character. So here in this case, is this is a char. That's it. The same can be used as a string. That's a char. Yeah. This will cover in detail tomorrow. What are, how are we defining variables and multiple string functions that are available? So that is critical. It sounds easy, like in other wherever you've learned, okay, people are starting with strings. No, but in Python, it's always important. You would have gone through, if you have gone through the Python FAQs, you should definitely see something with the strings, lists, tuples, which are nothing but ordered collections within Python. The very basic thing. They'll ask about this and string manipulations, everything. If somebody wants to test your knowledge on Python programming or scripting, they would ask these questions for sure. Because most of the programming that we do, right, Python. So if you're saying as a UI developer, you're going into the packages, right, like Flask API development, Flask UI development packages. So that's with the UI part. But mostly, even within the UI part, you would always be using something, a data type, or else the sequence data type called list or tuple. Remember these words, but we'll cover it tomorrow itself. But list, tuple, and string. So those are the important data types within Python. These are the set of data types, right? If you say numeric, everybody is aware. Int, float. Complex is something which I'm not rarely use it, but advanced programming you do is complex numerics as well. Sequence data type. This is what I'm saying. So this is very important data type, and dictionary as well. Mapping type. These are all you would have heard a string, list, tuple, dict, boolean, set. So what is the classification? String, list, tuple comes under sequence. Dictionary is nothing but mapping, boolean, true, false, right? And the set. Set type as a set, and frozen set I haven't used much, but these are the different types that we use. Binary 0, 1. People would ask you like, okay, what are the different data types in Python? You can say like they're classified as numeric, sequence, mapping, boolean. And what does string, list, tuple does? They're part of the sequence data types, which is like ordered collection. This is the theory that you should know at least, and then we'll get into it tomorrow, basically. And okay, this is what is right. So how do you define a variable like X? See, if you see, everything is X here. I've used the same variable, and this is nothing but int. Float we know as a decimal point. This is a string. If I just have D, what it becomes? It becomes a character. Not character basically. It's still a string, But if you want to define character in Python, it's like a string with a length of 1 is nothing but a character. There is no character in Python. And the next one is a list, and the next one is a tuple. And this is what I've answered. And string by indexing, right? Slicing, indexing. Index is nothing but, okay. This is what I've shown, right? Yes. And this is the string, and there is something called doc strings as well. So if you have to type in multiple lines of code defining your explaining your program, explaining your module, you do it in triple quotes. That's nothing but the doc string. As I was saying, right? So you newly joined this project, you need to add it. So whoever has developed all these packages would given up some introduction, right? So okay, Python SS, there is a module. So what this Python SS does, they would consider it's developed in Python. So they'll give it as a doc string, just like introducing what this particular module does and what they have written it. So that info will be saved in the doc string. As an example, so consider this, right? So this is just one line within this line, and if you have multiple lines, so you could just give triple quotes within the Python. So it will be considered as a doc string. What is the use of doc string? You could just say, okay, yeah, to explain what it is, to give a preface of the particular Python package or file that we have open. And yeah, on the sequence type, right? What is the sequence type? String, list, tuple. This will cover. So tomorrow we'll cover mostly on string, list, and tuples. So which is critical and important. We use it every day. Without that, our work won't go. And especially the use case I was saying on compare. So most of it, right? So we use basically list, tuples, and set is nothing but defined set. Once it is defined, it won't accept duplicates. Even if the duplicates are defined, it will just consider the one occurrence within the set. Yeah, just as a theory on the Python data types, but we'll cover mostly tomorrow on the actual defining the data types and playing around with the built-in functions within the strings and list and tuples. Yeah, that's it. These are the topics I wanted to cover today, giving a touch of Python and also covering the installation and other topics.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Sampath. Yeah, it's really a very good session at our first class. So everybody explained, really good. I will be sharing the recording session to everyone. You don't need to ping me separately. So in respect to paid groups, whoever is added in the group, so everybody will be shared. If you are not in the group, ping me offline. If someone joins through your friend or someone refers you, you can ping me offline. I can give you the recording session. Yeah, I appreciate Venkatesh, Sampath, and other two students, Lakshmi Narayan and Ganesh. Thank you, all of you. I think we have a few minutes. Maybe if someone really wants to talk, unmute yourself. I already allowed to unmute. I'm not sure whether you guys to unmute. If you cannot, maybe you can post your question in the chat room. We definitely answer. We note it down and we will answer in tomorrow's call. So we all meeting tomorrow in the same time. So this is how it working. 8:30 p.m. IST, 9 a.m. CST, 10 a.m. EST, and 7 a.m. PST. So this is the time we are balancing everybody to join. Yeah, so feel free to ping me offline, me or Venkatesh from India. So we will try to, set up one-to-one call and we will try to answer not only here. If you have any questions, you can chat it in the room, so chat room, WhatsApp chat room. We will try to answer, or you can call us or message us. Right, Venkatesh?
Yeah, exactly. And for quick tomorrow agenda, so we are going to walk through more examples in the notebook with the Sampath has told, like in a data types in detail, along with the Python functionalities and other concepts as well. So tomorrow will be the more hands-on session will be there, and I request everyone to install the Python software in your machines. If it is in a Windows, Linux, or Mac, if you face any challenges in the while installing installation, please post in the messages in the group, WhatsApp group as well, or else in the tomorrow session first 10 to 15 minutes will allow you people to speak, or like if you have any queries or anything, we'll first we'll try to solve those issues and we can start the session. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Venkatesh. Yeah, I think next week also we go with the same kind of concept. So next week we will assign proof of concept to everyone. You can start working that. So one-to-one sessions will be given. If someone having any questions on the proof of concept, there are 3 to 4 SMEs both in India and USA as well. So we will try to assist you if someone stuck anywhere. Okay. Yeah, please fill the Google form. So that's where we take all the emails and we automate, where you will get all the newsletters, we get the recording sessions, you get the upcoming class informations, we get the assignment information. So we do whatever we have valuable information, we will send over to emails and WhatsApp. So please fill the Google form. So that's where we can catch you all up. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it for today. Let's close because it's already late and it's a long session. Thank you, everyone, one and all here. Thank you so much, mentors.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to KKR Gen AI Innovations channel.